This happened to me while I was working as a cashier at Walmart. I will be using fake names in order to protect my identity. My name is Cassandra, and I had been working at Walmart for about 6 months when this incident had happened. I was assigned the closing hours from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Everything earlier in the day at Walmart was the same as per usual. A bunch of hungry shoppers looking to buy everything off of every stock. Some angry customers not getting the refunds, and a bunch of chaotic children running through the store. I hated working here, and I thought nothing that happened could possibly make this day worse. It was around 10:30 p.m., nearing the end of my shift. I was just cleaning the cash register when an ugly, scruffy-looking man about late 40s, balding with a beer belly, wearing a wife beater and ripped jeans, walked into the store. He walked up to the cash register that I was working at and was trying to talk to me. He said, "Good evening, beautiful. I think you look really pretty." I nervously creeped out, saying, "Thanks," and I returned back to cleaning the register. He still kept trying to ask me things like, "What time are you off? Do you want to go out and grab a drink? Would you like to go out somewhere?" Me clearly really creeped out, saying, "I'm sorry. I'm not interested. I'm tired and I have a boyfriend," which was a lie, but I had hoped that would have scared him off. However, he kept being persistent. He said, "Come on, you can't have friends. Let me get your number or socials, and we can just be friends." Now I was really starting to lose my patience and was fuming. I told him more sharply, "Dude, I'm not interested in you. I don't want to go out." He still kept persisting. I, now completely fed up, sharply yelled, "Dude, leave me alone. I'm not interested in you. Please leave me alone before I call security." My male coworker, we'll call him Tom, came over. Tom said to the man, "Get out of here before I call the cops." Tom was a really tall, muscular man who could intimidate just about anyone. The man angrily replies, "All you women are the same in your stuck-up ways. You'll be sorry about this." Then he stormed out the store. Tom looked at me and asked, "Are you all right?" I respond with, "I'm okay. Just really creeped out about the guy and how he wouldn't leave me alone." Tom replied with, "Some creeps these days just don't know the word no." I replied with, "Tell me about it." We both went back to cleaning the rest of the store, and no further incidents happened. It was about 11:30 p.m., and we both had clocked out. We were getting ready to leave. Tom looked at me and said, "I'm going to walk with you to your car in case the creep is hanging around here anywhere." I said, "Thank you so much." I was so grateful to have Tom here with me. We left the store after locking up and began walking to our cars. All of a sudden, Tom stopped dead in his tracks and grabbed my arm and stopped me. He said, "That man is hiding behind your car." I looked at my car and realized that the creep had been waiting for me to leave. Tom yelled at the man, "I'm calling the cops." The man angrily ran around straight at us, and Tom got in front of me, and one swift punch knocked the guy out. The police came about 15 minutes later. Tom was holding the guy down while the cops were arresting him. I was in a state of shock. I couldn't believe what had happened. One of the police officers came and took our statements on what had happened and hauled the guy away off to the station. Tom asked me if I would be alright, and I said thank you so much for what you did. You really are an amazing person, and I gave him a hug. I went home and received a call from the police the next morning saying the guy was wanted for sex trafficking and a list of other crimes. I was so grateful to have Tom there that day, as I couldn't have imagined what would have happened had I walked to my car all alone. This happened to me when I was a little boy. I was about 7 years old when this incident happened. I was with my mother at Walmart. She had to do some late shopping for a present for her sister. My mother was in the clothes department looking for some new shirts and pants for my aunt, while I was just wandering around the clothes department thinking about how bored I was. I was looking around and saw there was a little boy around my age motioning me to come over where he was. I followed him to the toy department where we introduced ourselves. He told me that he needed help looking for the newest Transformer toy that just came out. I was into Transformers so heavily at that age, so I felt like I was in heaven. We found the one we were looking for, and he asked me, "Which one is your favorite?" I told him that I loved the Optimus Prime. He reached and grabbed the Optimus Prime one for me. I was ecstatic, but also confused. I asked him, "How are we going to pay for these?" He told me, "My dad will pay for them." He's really rich and buys toys for all my friends and I. Where is your dad? I asked. He said, my dad is waiting for me in the auto section of the store. We both began to walk towards the auto section of the store. I hadn't even realized that I did not let my mother know where I had went. We made it to the auto section of the store where a tall man wearing a hoodie and baggy sweats was looking around for stuff. The kid introduced me to the man and I was a little surprised. I had imagined him being in a rich person's suit and looking really well off. He seemed to be almost homeless like. The kid said, this is my new friend. I shook the man's hand and he told me his name. The kid told the man, Dad, my friend wants this new Transformer toy. Can you buy it for him? He smiled with a smile that felt really off-putting and said, sure. The man went to the cashier with the toys and bought them for myself and the kid. But before he could give it to me, he told me, why don't you come with us back to our van? I have a lot of toys and candy and all the newest Transformers you can have. Now I knew about Stranger Danger, but my little brain could not get over the thought of new Transformers toys. Stupidly, I began to follow the man and the kid into the parking lot and out of the store. About halfway to the van, I hear my mother scream, who are you? Where are you taking my son? The man saw my mother, and he and the kid got in the van and quickly sped off away out of the parking lot. My mother yelled at me, where were you? Why were you leaving with that man? You know about Stranger Danger. I explained to her about the kid and the Transformer toys and that the man was the kid's father. My mother went back into Walmart and talked with security and asked to file a report with them. And then she called the police and filed a report to see if they could find them. After a few days, my mother found out that the man had kidnapped a child and was using him as bait to lure other children into the van to kidnap them and ransom them off. The police were able to track him and arrest him and return the kid back to his parents. To this day, I'm still so grateful for my mother seeing me before I almost got kidnapped. And to the man who tried to kidnap me, let's not meet again. This story happened to me recently when I was shopping at Walmart. My name is Adam, and I was looking for new tools to use to fix my car, which had been acting up at the time. When I was looking for tools and car parts in the auto section, I noticed a couple was shopping for some tools as well, but something felt off. The woman was looking really skittish, and the man did not seem to lose his sight on the woman. She seemed really nervous when I walked by, and her eyes felt like they were telling me to help her. The man grabbed her arm and pulled her away from me, and they went down another aisle. I felt suspicious, so I decided to follow them to the next aisle, but tried to stay hidden so they couldn't see me. The woman said to the man, I'm sorry about dropping and breaking the vase earlier. The man replied coldly, you should be sorry. That vase was a gift from my mother. He shoved her and said, you're always breaking things and being clumsy. I can't believe I married you. The woman began to sob silently as the man hurled more graphic remarks. The woman looked up and noticed me and quietly mouthed, help me. I decided that this had gone far enough and walked up to the man and shoved him from behind. He fell over and I told him, pick on someone your own size. You're weak for hitting women. The man got up and said, you're going to pay for what you just did. He tried to swing at me, but I dodged it and uppercut him right in the jaw. He fell back into the aisle and tried to swing again. Again I dodged his punch and swung with all my might and clocked him right in the side of the head. Now at this time, the workers quickly rushed in and separated the guy and I from hitting each other. The police were called and both the man and I were arrested and taken down to the station. When I was at the station, I told the officers about how the man had been shoving and hurting the woman. I felt the need to step in and do something about it. The man was in the other room angrily cursing my name out in his side of the story. The woman was brought in and gave her side of the story, which was the exact same thing I had told the officers. She mentioned to the officers that her husband was abusive towards her and had assaulted her in different ways. After interrogating all three of us, the officers let me go and put the man in jail. Charges were filed for abuse and assault, I believed, and that the woman ended up getting a restraining order as well as a divorce from him. I was so happy that I had stepped in to protect that woman's life. We both keep in touch every now and then about life, and she is doing much better now. I'm so glad to have helped someone out when it mattered, and to the man who was abusive to her, I hope you rot in prison for the rest of your life. Hi, it's me. Mr. Horror Story. I hope you enjoy our awesome Walmart horror stories today. These were fun to make, and I always enjoy making content to entertain you guys. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and continue to show your support in watching these videos all the way until the end. I really truly appreciate every single view and subscriber I get. Please continue to share your feedback with me on things you think could help improve my videos or things you would like to see, and further recommendations is always appreciative. Thank you very much. Mr. Horror Story out.